So today we're going to learn how to make chicken stock out of the whole chicken leftovers, and then also make chicken noodle soup with the chicken stock. Okay, so when my mom was first diagnosed, we got a lot of meals, but now that she's in long-term treatment, there's less meals coming, so we have to figure out meals that we can make that are still easy and aren't expensive and aren't as time-consuming and don't use too many ingredients. So chicken noodle soup and this chicken stock are really easy recipes that can both be frozen and reheated, and they use things that have already been cooked, like the whole chicken. So now we're going to make the chicken stock for the chicken noodle soup. So I have a pot, I have water, I have most of the chicken meat separated from the bones. So I have my chicken here, and I'm going to set this aside to put in the soup for later. I also have bay leaves and thyme. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is pour water into my pot with the chicken bones until the chicken bones are completely covered. Okay, and then I'm also going to put some seasoning in. So I'm going to do 1 bay leaf. If you don't have bay leaves, you can just skip, or you can do other seasonings that you like. And then I'm going to do thyme, and I'm going to do about half a teaspoon. You can also skip this or replace it with other seasonings. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to bring this to a boil, about on medium, and then we're going to put the lid on and reduce it to low and let it cook for about 3 hours on low. And then if you want to add any other vegetables to it, like onion or anything else like that, you're going to want to add it in the last hour, so about 2 hours in, because if you put them in before that, they can get bitter from cooking too long. Okay, so while my stock is boiling, I'm going to get ready the ingredients for the chicken noodle soup and prepare them. So first you need the stock you're boiling, or a boxed chicken or turkey stock. And then you also need vegetables. So I'm doing celery, a couple of carrots, some onion. Then you also need your chicken. This is cut up pretty small, and it's for my whole chicken, so it's already cooked. And then you also need some spaghetti noodles, and you're going to break these into smaller pieces. So now I'm going to prepare all my veggies, so peel everything that needs to be peeled, and then cut everything into really small pieces. And then I'm also going to cut my chicken into small pieces and break my noodles into about 2-inch pieces. The great thing about this recipe is you can use any veggies you want. I'm using celery and carrots, but any are fine. Some suggestions are celery, carrots, zucchini, frozen veggies like peas or these small cut up veggies, broccoli. Whatever you feel like would taste good in this soup will work. You can also add any seasonings you want, like cumin, salt, pepper, thyme, rosemary. Whatever you feel like tastes good. You can also add more or less noodles, and if you don't eat meat, you could always use vegetable broth and skip the chicken and just add more veggies and more noodles. So this soup can really be for what you feel like and how your family likes to eat your soup. Okay, so now that I have my veggies cut, I have my spaghetti broken, and I have my chicken cut too. So now I'm going to saute my veggies until they're fully cooked, because that's how cooked they're going to be. So cook them as much as you're going to want them cooked in your soup. So I'm going to saute them, and then we'll come back in a few minutes. Okay, so once I finish sauteing my veggies, it should look something like this, fully cooked. You can put your veggies, your noodles, and your chicken away for later until you're ready to make the soup. Okay, so once your chicken stock has been cooking for about 3 hours, you can drain it. So you can do this by putting a pot down in the sink, and then you can put a colander or strainer in it, and then you can pour it in, and then you have your chicken stock separate from the chicken bones. If there's still meat on the chicken bones, you can pick that off to have in the soup later. And then you're just gonna put the stock back on the stove, and we're gonna make our soup now. So while you are draining the stock, it is important to remember it is very hot. So if you can't handle hot things, it might be helpful to ask someone else to help drain it, because there will be a lot of steam and it will be hot, and it can be dangerous. So be careful while you are doing this. Okay, so now I'm gonna make the soup. So if you're just making the stock and you're not making the soup, you can put this in a container when it cools, and you can freeze it to use for later. So you're gonna take out as much stock as you want to freeze, because it might be a lot, and then the rest we're gonna use to make our soup.
Okay.
So next you're gonna bring your stock back to a boil, and then you're gonna add your chicken, your veggies, and your noodles. Once the noodles are fully cooked, this is ready to eat. So you can also add salt, other flavors, and once you think it tastes good, enjoy.